Mummy's Dirty Secrets.
Hello everybody and welcome to Mummy's Dirty Secrets episode 6. I'm Kelly.
And I'm Yasmin.
And I think today we're talking about words for willies.
Words for willies.
And what else?
The weird stuff that we do that nobody talks about, but
Yeah.
more linked to when people come having people over.
Yes, yeah. So, I'm going to go with willies first.
Yeah.
So, willy.
Well, I said magic stick.
Oh yeah, your magic stick.
I've never
yeah.
used it in that context.
I like the guy the guy that commented and said there's not much magic
Not
in his
much
stick.
magic.
Oh, bless him. But I think I did a ladies' night once, and we gave ladies a minute to put as many words down as they could,
Oh.
and you would get like todger, wanger, winky, tinky. Someone put tink in it. Schlong, yeah. And then you'd be like Mr. Edward, and I'm like, no, that's quite personal, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
One
Some
lady
people
put
do
on.
name them though, don't
Yeah.
they?
One lady put on, I've forgotten what she said now. Master, was it Master Knob and Jackrabbit? I thought, whoa, that sounds really vigorous, isn't it? Jackrabbit, blimey, yeah, good luck to her. Knob, have I said that? Knob.
What was the? I'm sure Ben used to. My ex-husband used to say. No, was it him or was it? was it one of my other?
My other ex-husband.
The one-eyed winking womb ferret. Yeah.
I've never heard. Trouser snake, purple-headed monster. Isabella used to call it a wally.
A wally.
Yeah, and she thought everybody had a wally.
Oh.
Oh no, I can't think of any.
No, I
There's
can't
like
think of any
hundreds, isn't
now.
there? The one
They
I
did
don't
have some
like,
up.
I'm going to say it though, but I don't like it. Cock.
Oh, I quite like
Do
that.
you? I always find they use that a lot in porn, don't they?
Yeah, but
I like your cock.
in a sexual context, would you prefer dick?
I don't like that either.
No, I don't like that either.
No. Well, I don't know in a sexual context,
in
really.
the right context, cock I think is
that
okay.
does suit more activity things. Isn't it? You wouldn't say like
a dick is a bit more. Oh, I don't know. It's like that Paul Rudd thing I sent you. I'm going to put my dick in.
Yeah.
We have to share that actually. We could share that after.
Yes.
Yeah.
Put it on there
Or on
today.
the
Yeah.
lead up. Phallus.
Yeah.
Member. Don't
Member.
like
Yes,
that.
I've heard member. Yeah. Yeah.
Pecker. Obviously, there's prick.
See, I would never think of a winky as a prick. Not in that
No.
context, because you call someone that, don't you? You
Yeah,
prick.
but you wouldn't say.
Let's have a look at your prick. Yeah.
Wouldn't say.
No. Well, I wouldn't.
Don't really want to look at any.
No.
Anyway, really.
Funny old things, aren't they?
They are funny.
I would like to have one for a day, though.
Baloney pony.
A what? A baloney bony?
Baloney pony.
Oh, I like that.
Oh, there's a lot here that I've never heard of. Chopper, yeah, I've heard of that.
Yeah, get your chopper out.
Cack. A chode. Oh, a chode.
Chode?
Have you heard of chode before?
No.
It was always a thing that when we were at school that apparently it's probably not physically possible, but they used to joke and say if you're wider than you are long, then you've got a chode.
As a person, so if you're
No, as a
a winkle. Yeah. Oh, so if your winkle is wider than it is long, so if you've got more girth than length,
yes.
it's called a chode.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I mean, we might custard launcher.
Custard launcher.
Dicklet.
I'm still thinking of chodes. Chode.
Oh my god, there's loads. Disco stick.
Oh.
Dog bone.
Boner. Bone, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, fuck pole. That's horrible.
Yeah, no, I don't think I'd use that often.
No.
Or at all, really, to be fair.
Johnson. Yes, Johnson's one, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Love muscle. Love
Yeah,
stick is a
yeah,
bit
I heard that
magic
one.
Stick. Manhood.
Oh, yeah, my manhood.
Manhood
yeah.
isn't
yeah.
bad, is it?
Yeah, quite like that. It's inoffensive, isn't it?
Meat stick. One-eyed trouser snakes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's
before.
the one I've heard. Yeah, yeah.
Your package.
Yeah.
Your piece. Pork sword.
Oh, I have heard that, yeah. Truncheon. Pork truncheon. Was it a pork truncheon?
Shaft, yeah. Shaft, schlong. Snake. Snossage.
That
Why?
sounds like a
Why is
2-year-old trying to say sausage, isn't it?
Why
Make my sausage.
snossage?
That's random.
Third leg, yeah. We've had that. Trouser monkey.
Trouser
This
monkey.
is all in alphabetical, so I'm just
Yeah.
getting a wiener. Winkle,
A
winky.
wiener. Yeah, we use wiener quite a lot.
Yard.
I like wiener.
That's a bit generous,
Oh,
isn't
yeah.
it? A yard.
Yeah, that's boasting rather, isn't
A
it? Yeah.
yin yang. Why? Not sure.
Oh, I'd call a fangita a yin yang more than I would a winky.
And then it follows on to all the slang words to say blowjob. Bagpiping. Oh dear.
So, anyway, I had a friend over at the weekend, moving on from winkies now to weird things that we do. And she very kindly wanted to wash up for me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what are you doing? And she looked at me. She was, oh, it's just happening. I went, step away. And Rob's like, oh, I have a real thing about people washing up for me. I can't cope with it.
Is it because you don't think they'll do it properly?
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is. Yeah, yeah. And then like, no, I'll do it for you. And I'm like, no, don't.
Yeah.
And it makes me anxious.
Won't do it my
I
way.
get genuinely anxious if someone starts to wash up in my house. And I would volunteer at someone else's house, but I would
yeah.
say, would you like me to wash up? And if they say no, I'm like, okay, because I know if you said to me, can I wash up? And I say, no, it's all right. I mean it.
Yeah.
I mean no. I don't like. I'm not being kind and like you.
Yeah.
I do want you to really. No, I don't want you to. And I really can't do it because I stack it up nicely and I have my orders that I do it in. You know, we've got to do the glasses and then the plates and then, you know, if someone puts like a saucepan in before they've done a glass, I can't cope. I can't deal with it. So I really don't. And she was like, she looked at me as if I was a nutter. And then about 5 minutes later, she was going to put my slippers on. I went, no! You know, do that slow motion reach. And she looked at me and I went, I don't share slippers. I don't want someone else's feet in my slippers.
No,
Is that weird?
No, I wouldn't want that either.
Yeah. So I found her a pair of flip-flops and let her wear those instead.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind giving someone a pair of socks because you can wash those
Yeah, or throw them
afterwards.
away.
Throw them away.
Yeah. Just like, because I know that feet are sweaty.
Yeah.
So I don't want your sweat on me and I don't want my sweat on you.
No, I wouldn't go. I wouldn't go to
yeah.
put someone else's on.
So I'd possibly give someone a pair of socks, but I wouldn't want them back. Yeah, it's our funny little quirkisms, isn't it?
I don't like it when, I mean, my mum's one, if ever she's come round and helped do the washing up, they immediately get a tea towel out and start drying. See, I can't
Let
bear
it dry for a
the
bit.
smell of a glass that's had a wet tea towel
Oh,
around
yes,
it. You
I
know,
know
you
what
pick
you
it up and it's got that.
mean. Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah, damp.
Tea towels for me are literally just for drying your hands on.
So you let your washing up dry
Yeah.
and then put it away?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I know what you
wouldn't,
mean. Yeah. Yeah.
If it's a bit on the outside, or if you pour someone a drink, then I might do the tea towel on the outside just to
Yeah.
mop up on the bottom so it's
Yeah.
not going to leave a ring. But I
they
don't want that tea towel inside.
They say
glass.
that tea towels and dishcloths carry the most bacteria.
It's not
Anyway,
surprising,
having
is
done
it?
sort of like worked in restaurants and stuff, and you do your health and hygiene stuff, because you wipe your hands, then
If
you're
you
going to
think
do
you
something.
chop a bit of raw chicken, you think, oh, wash my
Yeah,
hands, so dry my
exactly.
hands on it. But
Yeah.
have you washed them properly?
Yeah,
then you're going to
yeah.
put that in a glass.
Yeah, and then when you've got your wet dishcloth, and you just go and wipe it without rinsing it first, you know, what are you smearing over there? Yeah, so they do. I have given myself food poisoning once. I worked in a restaurant,
Put that
and
on your
I was
CV.
yeah, that's an achievement. And the chef was off, and I was doing the Sunday roast for this restaurant I was in, and I got a huge tray of roast potatoes out, and I thought, oh, that one looks nice and crispy. So I took it out and I put it on the tea towel. And I thought, I'm just going to eat that one in when it's cooled down. Carried on. And that's all I ate all day because Rob was cooking that night. He was making us some nice steak, so I had nothing else to eat. And for me, that is a challenge in itself, not eating anything else. And I got home and I'm like, oh, have you ever had food poisoning?
I don't think so.
I've had it quite a few times. Touch glass. Somewhere there must be some wood there. I got home and I'm like, oh, and it kind of, because there's a few different types. You can have immediate reaction, or it comes on 4 hours or 12 hours, depending on what it is. And this was about 4 hours afterwards, and I could feel it coming out, and it comes out both ends quite dramatically. And I knew it's because I put this potato on the tea towel, and obviously got bacteria, giving it to myself that way. Another time I was joining a ship, and I flew out the night before, and then was getting on the ship in the morning. I flew to Tenerife, and I was on my own, and I was sort of like mid-20s, and I thought I'd be quite cosmopolitan and I'd go out and take my book and have a glass of wine and a tapa, and which I did, and then I got bored. So it was about 9 o'clock, and I think, I'll go to bed now anyway. So I was in this hotel room, and then at 1 o'clock in the morning I was up, and I just made it to the bathroom, and I rang my mum, as you do, I'm in Tenerife. She's and I'd got food poisoning from whatever this tapa was. And I went on the ship the next day, and I went straight to the doctors. I'm like, and because if you go on a ship like what's going on now, if you have got a virus and it spreads, then you could infect the whole ship. So they put me in isolation for 3 days, even though it was food poisoning. And everyone's like, I thought Kelly was coming on the ship today because I was locked in somewhere. That was then. Another time, I was working in another restaurant, and it was Valentine's. So incredibly busy. We had the night booking. I think it was like 150-seater restaurant, so quite a big restaurant. Wow. And once the night filled up of bookings, it then goes on to the lunch, and people will have a Valentine's lunch instead. So we'd had a really busy lunch session, and we had like about an hour and a half to get the restaurant set up again for the evening. And there was a garage next door, and we were all starving. So someone went to the garage, I'm going to get anything. Do you want anything? I said, yeah, I'll have, those packets of fruit, melon and, different types of melon. That's all I had. Again, surprisingly for me. So I know it was that because I had nothing else to eat. And I ate it, and I was immediately starting to feel ill. So I don't know what had happened to that piece of fruit. I don't know. And I'm like, and I could feel it. Yeah. Because I've had it a few times, I'm quite familiar with the feeling of it.
Well, that's it. And they often say that we blame it on the wrong thing. Like, we'll say, oh, it's the mayonnaise, or oh, it's the fish, or oh, it's the meat, or whatever. But,
it could have been the packaging, and it could have been that, when I've opened it, and then I just used my fingers to eat the fruit, and I could feel it coming, and, the cold sweats, and I'm at one end of the restaurant, and I'm like, I've got to get to the bathroom. This is happening right now. And there was a customer in, and they called to me, and I had my hand over my mouth because I know I might not make the bathroom because I know I'm going to be sick. And they're like, excuse me, and I'm like, so I sent someone out, just made it to the bathroom, and I had to go home, and it was like the Valentine's massively busy, and they're like, you can't go home, and I'm like, I can't stay, I cannot stay, and I got home, and the next morning I was supposed to be, and I'm like, oh, I just can't. I lost 2 kilos overnight, and like, no, you have to come in. I'm like, oh, God. Yeah, so why would we talk about food poisoning? How did that even happen?
That is the worst feeling.
Yeah, so I'm quite familiar with giving myself food poisoning.
That went from our tea towel conversation.
Oh, yeah, tea towels, yeah.
But yeah, I suppose that's another awkward thing when you go around someone else's house and you need the toilet, isn't it? If you go around for dinner and...
you need a whoopsie.
Yeah. That's an awkward one. I have been known to... I'm giving away my secret now. I'll take a child with me.
Blame the child.
Yeah.
Nice one.
But I mean, a lot of the time it is the child. Now I've said that, my kids do normally always need a poo, but they're getting to the age now where they'd be like,
go on their own.
No, you didn't take me to the... No, I didn't have a poo.
Or if it's like Lexi, she'll go, oh, Mummy, you stink. Which is a bit of a giveaway. Yeah. Yeah, that is embarrassing, isn't it? Aren't you supposed to light a candle or light a match or something that takes the smell away?
Yeah, I've never actually tried it. But then wouldn't it just smell like...
Match.
You know when you've blown a candle out and it smells like birthday cake? Yeah. That smell always reminds me of birthday cake when you blow out the candles.
I love
Would you not be left with that in the bathroom? Like, hello, someone's blown
Yeah, oh, it smells of matches in here. Who's had a shit?
Yeah, exactly. Or a guy that I used to work with, actually. I mean, obviously, having been in salons for years... we had a really tiny little toilet right next to the staff room. They're always small in hairdressers, aren't they? Tiny, and you always share them as well. Yeah. There's never one for staff and one for... And bearing in mind, some weeks I was in there for 3 12-hour days in a row, and you can bet in those days, you're going to need a poo.
Yeah.
At least once.
Yep.
A day. So,
Yeah. If not twice.
But generally, I was can still be quite. A lot of people like it. They only like going at home.
Yeah, Rob won't poo outside.
But I mean, at the point of discomfort,
I don't mean outside.
He won't do it in the front
He
garden.
doesn't do it. Not anymore. No, not after the police came round.
And he would say he'd kind of call from across the salon, and I don't know whether he just didn't realise that he was talking to me in the mirror, so therefore my client can also see what he's doing. Yes, I'm just going for a shit. He'd go. And I'd go in there and say, you know what? And he'd go, no, it's all right. He said, what I'd do, he said it was a big one, so I'd bleach first, then pad with toilet roll.
Right, yeah.
Then bleach after, then flush, then bleach. And he was like, job's a good one.
That's professional, that is.
It's
That's
quite
really well thought
professional
out.
job. Yeah.
Oh, I like that. I might have to use that one.
So,
Yeah, some people are home poopers, aren't they?
they are.
But if I need to go, I need to go. I can't really... I remember a friend of mine, right northern, he said, when you need a poo and it don't come out, does it bother you? And I'm like, no, not really. He said, it smudges. I don't like it. That did make me laugh.
Really?
Like, you know, obviously at the minute, daily, Lexi goes to the toilet. Mum! Yes? No skids!
Oh, bless.
That's like she's pleased with herself if we don't get any skids, which is good.
What other weird stuff happens when you go around someone's... I don't
like sharing towels.
Oh, really?
No, I don't like it. I remember Rob was... he had a friend round doing some recording once, and apparently their ritual before they recorded was to have a shower. Yeah. And I'm like, well, do that at home then. You don't have to do it at my house. And they just got in the... Because I don't think boys think as much about that as girls do.
Yeah.
And so he'd gone in the bathroom that the girls use and just used their towel. And I'm like, I don't want you to wipe your bottom and your winkle or your pork sword and your dangly balls on the towels that I use for my girls. So that's straight in the incinerator.
Yeah.
I can't...
Incinerator.
No, I can't do sharing towels.
And it's like if you go round someone's house and you're not quite sure what the hand towel is, and there's one hanging, and you are like, has someone wiped their ass on that?
What?
Or a shower? Like,
Yeah.
where do I dry my hands?
Yeah.
So that freaks me out a bit sometimes.
Take your own towel. That's the only thing. Take your own towel. That's it. That's the only way forward with that one. Yes, it is funny, the little quirky things we have, and where you put things as well, you know, in your house.
Yeah.
Like where you put your glasses or your food or your toiletries and things like that. You think it's logical because that's what you want.
Yeah, and you go around someone's house and they go, oh, just help you say, oh, you want to make them a cup of tea or something. You open a cupboard and you think, oh, I wouldn't put the glasses here.
Yeah, exactly. And they get really annoyed when you change it all around.
Then you start moving all your own stuff in and turn all the
I thought that
packets
looked better
face
for
the right
you.
way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, I've got better, but I have to say, I would have always much rather go around someone else's house, provided the food. I'd have rather paid for whatever we were having when we were there, take the drink, as long as it's not in my house, didn't really care. I don't mind as much now.
I like having people around. I'm a bit Monica, you know, from Friends. I like to be the hostess. Yeah. Although most of the time now my house is such a tip, it's never tidy. I'm like, oh, well, I can't. I used to like always make everything spotless, but now I can't be bothered anymore. It's like, it is what it is.
But we do the tidying and then just sort of drape ourselves on the sofa when the door knocks, as if like we've sat there all day.
Yeah.
And you just think,
excuse the mess.
Yeah.
And when people go in someone's house, excuse the mess, I'm like, there is no mess.
Yeah.
Like, if you want to see mess, come to my house, and then you will see what.
Or
mess
there's
is
one
like.
glass on the draining board.
Yeah.
Oh, excuse what a mess.
Oh God,
it
I
is
haven't
in
done the
here.
washing up yet.
For goodness
I've got
sake.
3 weeks worth on my side.
But it's funny because I don't know about you, but I feel embarrassed about my own mess, and it's the same thing about when we were talking about the beach bodies. I don't care what anyone else looks like on the beach.
Yeah.
I've got my own hang-ups.
Yeah.
But I don't worry about what anyone else looks like, and it's the same when you go to their house. If it's a mess,
doesn't
you don't
bother you.
really
No,
see
you're not
it.
even
It doesn't
looking at it,
bother
are
me.
you? Yeah, exactly.
But then it's the same when your own children are whinging. You can hear it louder. But if you sat in the doctor's or somewhere and a kid was playing up, you think, I don't care.
And you go, oh, bless.
Not my
don't you?
responsibility.
If I see another child crying, I'm like, oh, but if mine crying, I'm like, shut up.
Well, I think the anxiety sort of stems from the responsibility that, oh my God, this is my job to sort of diffuse this situation.
Yeah.
If it's someone else's, you think, I'm not worried about it.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
And now, word of the week.
Words of the week section again.
Okay, are we going quick fire?
We're going to do
again?
quick fire again. So, cock snapper.
Cock snapper.
Hyphenated. Cock snapper.
Do you know what comes into my mind, actually? Do you know those little wristbands that you... and they go round? One of those for your cock.
Okay. Oh, my God. Wouldn't that really hurt? I just had that image go through my head of slapping one of those round your
Come here,
cock. Oh, God. Actually, it's just a juvenile Australian snapper fish.
Oh, okay.
But,
of course
yeah.
it is.
God, that would hurt. Because they're made of those steel tape measures, aren't they? Have you ever opened one up?
Yeah.
It's made of...
And it's just...
Oh, God, wrong
yeah.
angle. That'd slice an half-inch off, wouldn't it?
It would.
Oh, blimey. Okay, here's another one.
So men, watch out.
Yeah, watch out for someone slapping that round your cock. Coverslut.
Coverslut.
All one word. Coverslut.
Maybe it's not going to be again.
I like you when you say that.
Like a lady of the night who then leaves with the covers over her head.
Oh, like the walk of shame.
Yeah.
I know
The
someone
walk
who
of
did that
shame
the other
in
day.
duvet.
It's actually a 17th century word for any item of clothing worn to hide a dirty or untidy garment underneath. So I guess it's not far
like
off,
that.
is it? Yeah. So if you've got like dirty pyjamas on, oh my God, we could now call our dressing gowns a cover slut.
Coverslut. I love it.
Yeah, I'm just going to go and get cosy in my cover slut.
I like that, really.
Oh, I really want a new cover slut.
Why did people stop using these
I
words?
know. I love all these words. Poop ornament.
A poop ornament.
Yeah, that's hyphenated. Poop ornament.
And again, that's obviously not something rude, but what could it be?
I would think of it as like a butt plug or something.
Oh, I didn't think about that. Yeah.
Or were you thinking like sculpting and all
A
that?
little sculpture, yeah.
What, doing it yourself, like on a wheel in like Ghost?
Oh, yeah, like Ghost.
It's definitely not what it sounds, says here. This is an old 19th century nautical slang word for an apprentice sailor.
Oh.
Because they have the poop deck. The back of the ship's called the
Yeah.
poop deck, isn't it? So poop ornament. So I guess, yeah, they're not doing much.
So you could go and pop on your cover slut to go onto the balcony to see if you can spot any cock snappers or poop ornaments.
Yes. Oh. Rim bomb.
A rim bomb.
R-I-M-B-O-M-B. Rim bomb.
Oh, this isn't good. This isn't giving me a good
Rim.
visual.
Did you thinking of rimming? Is rimming? Yeah.
Rimming and then
Oh.
maybe someone farts as you're rimming them.
Oh, God, yeah. Oh, or if you want to clean it, you could put like a little tiny weeny bath bomb in, couldn't you? A rim bomb's like a...
Like a Lush, you know that shop
Yeah.
Lush that do all
And then
that.
like, and if you did fart, well, this glitter would come out, wouldn't it?
Yes, that's it. Yeah, that's quite nice.
Funnily enough, it's not that. It means to reverberate or to resound. So a rimbombo is a deep rumble of thunder.
Well, we did say about farts.
Yeah. Well, they do rumble, don't they? Quite a lot of time. Slut hole. Slut hole, yes.
No, it's not a glory hole.
No, my nan's got a glory hole. She always talks about her glory hole. And what it is just a cupboard under the stairs. But she insists on getting things out of her glory hole. She can pull a hoover out of her glory hole. She can pull a stepladder out of her glory hole.
That. People do use that expression, don't
Yeah.
they? For not.
Yes, yeah. Hers is literally a cupboard, I hope.
Does she know the alternative?
No, I don't think so. So I do find it very amusing when she says she's going to go and get the dustpan and brush out of her glory hole.
Oh, dear.
A slut hole, yeah. So slut hole, it's a Victorian English word for a bin or a garbage heap or a receptacle for rubbish.
Understandable.
Oh,
Slut.
again, that is what I'm now renaming my kitchen bin.
What was the dressing gown?
Cover slut.
Cover slut.
I'm just going to put my cover slut on because I need to go to the slut hole to get rid of my bin bags.
Yeah.
One more. Spunkwater.
Spunkwater.
Yeah. That's nice, isn't it? Doesn't normally go with water generally, does it?
No, and I don't know. Maybe men. Well, actually, I don't think I want to be corrected here, but I'm thinking that if men do that, they do it in the shower and not in the bath. But I'm thinking of spunky bath water.
Does it float?
I don't
We'll have to
know.
get-
Would it even come out? I mean, would it? Like,
Oh, right.
you know, like when you blow out a candle and it will just shh. Maybe it would do that in the bath.
Or like silly string.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
Or
don't
maybe
know. We'll
it
have to-
jumps out the water.
like a dolphin when they spray out of their Coverslut hole.
Can anyone tell us if that happens?
Yeah. Any men listening, can you let us know that, please? Because we're quite curious about this now.
Yeah. So, spunky bathwater.
Spunkwater is a 19th century American slang for water that collects in the hollows of tree stumps.
Ah.
Spunkwater was once believed to be a cure for warts, and Mark Twain mentions it in The Adventures of Tom Sawyer, if you've ever read that. There. So I'm just going to splash some spunkwater on my face to get rid of these warts that I've got.
Oh, it must have been a man that came up with the word spunk then, wasn't it? They obviously repurposed it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now it's time for the Agony Aunt of the Week.
So, I've got an agony aunt this week,
Okay.
been sent in by someone. I think we've all been through this, so it's just the advice that will be required. So, hello, Mummy's Dirty Secrets. My name is Polly. I've just started seeing this guy who I really like. It's been going on about a month now and really going well. The only thing is I daren't trump in front of him. In passing conversation, he says he thinks it's utterly gross for a girl to fart. But if I'm honest, I'm very, how can we say, windy. When he comes around, I have to hold it in, and it's really uncomfortable. It makes me bloat, and sometimes I get scared in case I laugh and it just pops out. The mornings are the worst. When he sleeps over, I always insist on making the morning coffee. That way I can release all of my wind when the kettle's boiling and it masks out the noise. I do really like him, but I just can't continue like this. Do you think 4 weeks is enough time to start revealing my flatulence?
Oh, that's brilliant.
I think we've all been there,
We've
haven't
all
we?
been there.
We've all had those new relationships. Some of us are windier than others, Polly. But yes, at what stage do you let them out? Because I remember my sister saying, now she's been married 30 odd years now, and when they were first courting, as it were, and she let out, I think quite early on in their relationship, she let out her first fart, and her husband then said later he really wished that she hadn't, because from then on, the floodgates were open and she was farting it. Yeah, you've broken the seal. She was farting at every opportunity. But if he said that girls farting is gross, it's what do you do? I mean, Rob. I remember the first time I farted in front of Rob. I was kind of half unaware of it because I was, when you're dozing into sleep and your body's quite relaxed, and I did the biggest fart ever. I was kind of spooning him, so I couldn't see his face, but I kind of woke myself up with this massive fart, and I'm like, oh, this is the most dreadful thing ever, because I hadn't farted in front of him by then. But I could just see his shoulders like this. His shoulders were going up and down from laughing, because I'd obviously woken him up as well. But luckily he was gentlemanly enough not to say, oh, you smelly bastard. He kind of just we both pretended it didn't happen. And I think he then sort of went to roll around, and I did that, that stretchy yawn change, and I'm like, oh my God, this is the most embarrassing thing I've ever done in my life. I don't often do a lot in front of him, but when I do, he acts like I've just done a shit on his face. He acts like, and Lexi and Isabella are incredibly windy. And every morning, I mean, Isabella sometimes in the morning, if poor Nigel the cat, is just sitting on the rug, she goes and lies in front of him, lifts her legs and farts in his poor little face. They're vile. But unfortunately, I do think farts are funny as well.
They
so
are
it's difficult.
funny. They are.
They are, because you don't know what's going to come out.
And when animals do them, I don't know if cats are the same, but I've had a few dogs that they'll do it and they'll look around as if to say, who the bloody hell did that? And they'll sniff their own bum and walk away.
Yeah.
Christ, that's bad.
We had a dog when I was a kid called Prudence, and she would eat the leftovers of a Sunday dinner, and God, did she do disgusting ones. And you're like, Prudence, have you just farted? And she'd look at her bottom as if to say, it's not me, it was that. So, Polly, how are we going to help Polly with this then? Now, I was told by a friend of mine that he, with his partner, if you open your cheeks or lift one cheek, then it just goes... It's not an actual loud fart. But you don't know if it's going to smell or not. Yeah. So you can get away with doing a fart if you lift a cheek. And it will. You should try this. I want everybody to practice this. No sound will come out, just air. just spread your cheeks. So you can get away with the sound, but you may not be able to get away with the smell.
Are you saying that the sound comes from a vibration on the bum cheek?
Yeah, that's what it is. It's like like that. That's what it is.
I've
so
never
if you
thought
open,
about that before.
you spread your cheek. You can lift just one. If you think it's not going to be too bad, just lift one cheek. Do it in bed tonight. And I want to hear about it next week. And it just goes, and you can get away with it.
I love it. That's interesting.
Yeah, you might have a whiff.
I feel like I can't imagine that to be true.
Oh,
but
try it later.
yeah,
Honestly, I sometimes, even if on my own, I do it just because. I don't know why, actually. I don't know why I do it, but I do it just because
Just to
you
prove
can.
the
Yeah, just to prove the
theory.
point. It actually does work. Although this friend of mine said he did do it once. He knew something was coming and he lifted his cheek, but he did shit all over his leg.
Disclaimer.
Yeah,
It
he
might
said.
happen.
Yeah, I think they might have been a little bit aggressive in another form of whatever they were doing. But yeah, he said I sharded all over his leg. That didn't end well. But I think perhaps Polly needs to maybe split her cheeks and let out quiet ones, just so because otherwise you do get uncomfortable in the tummy, don't you? If you hold it in.
Oh
sometimes.
yeah, you do. That's the worst.
So,
and then she'd end up she'd cut the time short because like you'd go home with trapped wind.
Yeah,
and no one wants that.
No, exactly. So yeah, do the cheek spreading.
And there is quite a
first.
funny thing about it, like a little video. These women, a man and a woman, go out on a date, and it's all very lovely, and it's first date, and then they give each other a kiss, and they walk away. And he walks to his car, and he lets out a loud fart. And she's walking on the stairs and lets it out, and it's just one of those
it's
weird,
human
funny
nature,
things
isn't it?
that
You
initially we
can't
don't
keep
want
it.
anyone to know that we do, even though we all do it.
Like the Queen. She has
So-
her surgically removed. Rob's mum doesn't trump ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think perhaps Polly might just have to.
I mean, it depends on how you feel about it, how they feel about it. I don't know. I mean, even when me and Ben were together for a long time, like 11 years,
You didn't
it
trump in front of him.
would probably only in the last few years it would just. But no, before that, no, I wouldn't.
Oh, you're much more of a lady than me then.
But then if someone's at work, you've got quite a big fart window if they're at work.
Yeah, you can get rid of it
If
all
you're
before you
together
come
all
home.
the time, then
Yeah.
so I dare say it probably.
And some people are more windy than others, aren't they?
Yeah.
Um,
But then I have had, and been on holiday and had times where you've just got such uncomfortable trapped wind, and it's the worst.
yeah.
I remember one
Cheek
of
spread.
our friends saying that she went on her first holiday with one of her first serious boyfriends, and she just got such terrible trapped wind. She went back to the room. I think they were in Egypt or somewhere. Phoned her mum. Said, I'm so uncomfortable because I'm on holiday with this guy and I don't want him to know that I
Saving all your
fart.
farts up.
She went back to the room and just said she didn't feel very well. She wanted to be on her own or something. And her mum said, right, get on your all fours and rock back and
Yeah.
forth and it will eventually...
Yeah, also lying on
come out.
the floor and lifting your legs up. I mean, I used to do that with the girls when they were babies. Just push
Yeah.
their legs up,
and
that
then
gets the wind out.
bicycling them and never been so happy to hear a fart in your whole life. have you?
So Polly might have to just say that she's doing her morning exercise. And
Yeah.
cycle them out with it spreading the cheeks
I think
as well.
a lot of things are kind of made easier when maybe she doesn't have children. But I think once you've got children, it's kind of an open playing field.
Anything
then,
comes
isn't it?
out of any
Anything
orifice
goes.
then. Yeah. I think you might, perhaps if she pops one out accidentally on purpose and see what his reaction is, he might laugh. If he laughs, let them all out.
Yeah.
If he's horrified, you'll have to just hold them for a little bit
Or,
longer,
I mean,
perhaps.
presumably we all do them when we sleep. I'm quite...
Oh, yeah.
Any man, this is to sound like I've been with a lot, and it's really not the case. But any man that
Sure.
I've been, all the men that I've been with, I generally, once my head hits the pillow, I'm asleep, like mouth open, snoring the lot. And people go, oh, you snore, and I'm I don't know because I was asleep heavier than you, so I haven't got a clue. And they said, did you hear me get up in the night? No, because I was fast asleep. And I always say, whatever happens when I'm asleep, it's off the
Stays there.
record because, I'm sorry, if I fart when I'm asleep, I have no control over it. So I'll try and control what I can when I'm awake within reason in certain places, people, all that. But, what happens? So when she's asleep...
Yeah, they might be falling out. You might have heard them anyway.
You might have heard them anyway.
Well...
But don't be uncomfortable. You can't be uncomfortable.
No.
I think that's when you've got to have a bit of an honest... Just, I've got really... It's nice, well, maybe don't sort of, if she feels embarrassed about it, just maybe say, I've got her to stomach. I think we've got a bit of trapped wind.
Yeah.
maybe go off and see if you
Yeah,
or
go
he
to the
might just
toilet
say,
and it echoes around the bathroom and you hear it anyway. Yeah, perhaps that's a good idea. Just say like, oh, yeah, I've got a bit of track wind. I'm just going to go to the bathroom and let it out. And then he knows what you're doing.
Yeah. But he doesn't. He's not
he's not
total. He might just say,
offended,
"It's all right. You can fart in front of me. I don't
Yeah.
mind." Or he might say, "Oh, that was a bit too much information." In which case, he can jog on home.
Yeah,
because
go and
we're
get
all-
someone else who does appreciate a good fart. Because we all do.
Well, it's time to go now.
Bye then.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to Mummy's Dirty Secrets. Oh, I feel
Oh,
like
that
I've
was
got
a really
flappy
shit
bogey.
goodbye. Sorry,
Yeah.
guys. Bye.
Bye then.
Bye.
See you next week.
Mummy's dirty secrets.